We're rolling. We're rolling. Welcome back to another episode of the All In Show. Wow, and we're going all in today. We got the energy. We got the heat. This is insane. This has been a dream come true, and I just want to thank everybody in this room for being here. I really appreciate it. Like my heart. I feel like a kid in a candy store right now.
Well, thanks so much for having us, man. I'm excited.
Yeah.
Thanks for all you're doing for this community. We're fired up to be here.
Oh, man, that was insane.
I appreciate all you're doing, man. I remember you coming to our 905s, and you would inspire us then. You've always been a breath of inspiration and motivation to change the world, man.
Oh, dang. I appreciate that. I won't say your name just yet. We'll start from that couch. We'll go around and just introduce yourself. Give me one crazy thing that happened this week or exciting thing, and we'll go from there.
My name is Matt Smith. I'm a mattress guy. That's why I wear pajamas. I'm in the sleep business. CEO of Snooze Mattress. We're a global franchise trying to change the world of sleep and overall health. And crazy thing that happened this week is we've got horrible fires right now going on, and I have a cabin right in the middle of all this. So during this show, my cabin could be going down. Like, you really don't know what's going on out there, but you know, that's the craziest thing that's gone on this week for me.
Man, my heart goes out to your family, everybody.
I got there yesterday to get my stuff out.
Going through that whole thing. I did 2 seasons of wildland firefighting, so I know how these guys feel. I know how it is. I've never been on a large-scale incident like this, but for it to happen in your hometown, man, it hits different.
Well, just for our community to come together so much, for them to turn off donations after 12 hours, it's just really amazing. I got to shout out Pueblo for just coming together 100%. During this whole thing. It's really amazing to see.
And what are you doing, Matt? You're doing something huge, aren't you?
Oh, we just invite everybody to come stay at our Snooze. We were like, we got mattresses. You got a place to stay. You don't have a place to stay, come to Snooze. You got showers at Snap. You can come to Snap. So we're just trying to help any way we can. So, and then by doing that, today, like you're saying, like we just got flooded today with a bunch of donations. We didn't even ask for them. Like, that's how cool this town is and what they're giving back. And Isaiah was like, I don't even know what to say, but all these things keep coming in. And I'm like, that's awesome. Like, we'll get it out to the right people for sure.
Yeah, that's awesome. I've been noticing on Facebook that just so much generosity, whether park a trailer, sleep here, take showers, all that stuff. It's amazing. Mm-hmm. Cool community.
A lot of small businesses are just going out of their way to try to help out the incident. I can name like 3: Hopscotch Bakery, Shiver and Shake. You got even like Chick-fil-A is welcoming people for a meal for first responders. Brews Ale House is like, after your shift, wear your uniform, come inside, grab a beer. And I can tell you, there's nothing better than after a long shift and you're in uniform and you just go and get a beer. It's just like one of the coolest feelings ever. It's so cool. But hats off to all those guys. I got a lot of love and respect for every single one of them, because I've worked with a lot of these guys. I know a lot of these guys, and it's not an easy job at all.
I mean, to all you guys, all the firefighters out there, and all you do.
Yeah, they're great.
Man, I tell you, Aaron even put in perspective right before I left. He was like, somebody came in today and was like, I haven't had AC in 2 months, and Aaron was like, man, I'm so sorry, it's hot out there. And she's like, but I didn't lose my house today. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not in the fires. Like, put in perspective. Like, my life is pretty good.
Mm-hmm. Got to take the good with the bad, you know? It's all about how you think of it. Yeah. And it's super important. But yeah, I feel for you, Matt. I feel for you. Vern, reel it in. Tell them who you are.
In. All right, I'm Vern Larson. I'm the owner of Advantage Home Mortgage here in town. So I'm in the mortgage business, lending money. And let's see, crazy thing. We actually got a surprise birthday party done. Like, I've never had one where it was a complete surprise. We had Penny and Heidi thinking they were going to just check out a venue, and we were going to critique the space for the lady and tell them, like, oh, you should do this, you should do that. We walk in, 50 people, surprise, happy birthday. Nice. So we got a 12-year-old and a 14-year-old completely surprised, and nobody spilled the beans. And for a 12 and 14-year-old girl not to have a friend spill the bean to him, it was pretty amazingly tough. And we made it happen. So shout out to my wife, Abby, for making that happen.
Yeah. She's here. She's behind the camera.
She's hiding back there.
I love that. Yeah. Man, if I was a 12-year-old, I couldn't keep secrets.
No, these
wouldn't-
phones, there's no secrets.
Not at all. Not at all.
No.
I'm like, did you hear what Lindsay over here said about you, Joey?
Yeah.
Well, I'm Dylan Larson. I'm Vern Larson's son. I'm the heir, hopefully one day. But we got Larson squared in the house. That's what we call our alter ego here when we're together. And yeah, with just any loan needs that you guys need, that's what we're here for. And something crazy this week is I'm planning a dog show. So I've got a dog show coming up, community-based dog show. We're going to have a red carpet. We're going to be giving away pup cups, fun prizes like best tail wag, best bark, best smile, best fur coat. It's going to be a fun time. Everyone's invited, so bring your dogs. It should be a fun community event to just further bring that community together. You know, we just saw it happen, and so to keep on that momentum and show people that Pueblo is a great place to be.
I love that. When's that coming up?
That's going to be July 25th, 10 to noon, and that's going to be at the Pueblo Arts Alliance. It's right next to the Ice Arena.
You hear that, Pueblo?
The
Hear
dog
that?
show.
It was funny. He's interviewing a DJ. Like, we're trying to find a DJ, and he's like, "Hey, do you have a doorbell sound you could do? How about a knocking door?" I'm like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "I gotta get these dogs to bark somehow." It's like, ding dong.
It's going to go
Bring a
crazy.
mailman.
It's going to go crazy. We might get noise complaints, you know.
I'm in. That's so great. I love everything.
Bring a
about it.
mailman.
There you
Yeah,
go.
there you go. Yeah.
You know, dress up as a mailman or something. I see, like, you know, like father, like son over here. He was telling me while he was on the phone with you outside, and he was like kind of telling me what you were saying. I'm like, I see where you get it from, Dylan.
Yeah.
It's hilarious.
We do get told all the time. It's like Dr. Evil and Mini Me, you know. we got some good marketing in the works on
Except
something like
the
that.
mini me. I'm the bald one over here instead.
Oh, okay.
It's a dynamic duo. For those that don't know these two, they are incredible people for our community. You guys do a lot. You guys are like the
appreciate that.
salespeople of
Thank you.
salespeople, and we're lucky to have you guys keeping your talents in this town for sure.
Hustlers.
I
And
love it
from
here.
a
I
dad,
love it.
like I gotta say, like it's a dream come true. Like to be able to work with your son, like
Yeah,
that's
you
got
got
to
a
be the
couple
coolest
coming,
thing
right?
ever. I'm working on it. I took my daughter to China a couple weeks ago, trying to get her in the business. But I'm like, this is what everybody dreams of, you know. And you still get along and still like each other through all this. Like
Most days.
that says a lot about both y'all, you know. That says a lot.
Yeah. Speaking of father and son, and then I'll get into what happened. That was crazy. It's my dad's birthday today. I feel so bad because I haven't called him yet. Honestly, I wanted to call him on the podcast. Are
Perfect.
you guys cool if I just give him
Yeah,
a jingle?
let's do it.
Yeah, can we
All
sing?
right. Oh, yeah, yeah.
Can we FaceTime him? We don't call. We got to FaceTime.
Let me
Or
see.
Do you even have an Apple? I don't
I
even
do. I got video call. Let me see. Like,
Prove it.
father.
prove it.
There's
there
0%
it
chance my dad could do a video.
Yeah, I don't know if he's capable of doing video.
Yeah.
We'll find out. I don't know what he's doing right now.
Does your dad watch every podcast?
Honestly, I don't think he watches any podcasts.
Hello.
Hey,
Hey,
Can we see him?
do you know how to do a video call?
Dad.
yeah.
Well, turn your camera on.
All right. Hold on.
All right. I'm holding. My horses are holding.
How old is Dad?
I think he's like 55 now.
Oh, he should be able to open a cell phone.
You're so talented. I could never.
He's bringing in help.
You're so talented. I could never.
Oh, there you
There
are.
it is. All right.
Oh, where you at?
Hey, Dad.
I'm in Colorado Springs at a place called Red Gravy.
Ooh,
Red Gravy.
nice.
Well, I got
Can you
a
see us
very
here, Dad?
special.
Can you see us, Dad? Hey, Dad.
You got what?
Ready? Go.
Happy
birthday to you. Happy birthday
to you. Happy birthday, dear Dad. Happy birthday to you. That was
Thank you, guys.
the guests on the podcast. Did you get the strippers I ordered to the house?
No, I think you sent them to the next door neighbor.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I
I don't know
gotta.
where we live half the time, so I'm assuming they got all my presents.
Ah, man, I gotta check
good.
that real quick. All right. No, I was just calling to say happy birthday, Dad. I love you.
I love you too. Thank you.
You're welcome. I'll talk to you later.
Love you,
Okay, have
Dad.
fun.
Happy birthday, Dad.
That was cool.
Bye. Thank you, guys.
Bye. All right. Now that I don't know. I lost track of how old he was after like 48.
He's like 72 or something.
Yeah.
50.
I don't know.
Something.
I don't know. You know, I still think he's like 38 in my eyes. So it's all good. I love my dad, but
Well, as dads, you guys probably still feel 38 most of the time, right?
Probably under.
Under, yeah.
Yeah, it's still a little under. 32s.
32.
the mind's 38, but the body's like 46.
Yeah, yesterday when I was driving to the fire, I had this thing because I was going to my cabin in the morning when I heard this was going down, and I see the flames. You see the coming over, and I'm like, is this like the right thing to do as a dad to go to the cabin right now? Because this could close you in. There's only one way in and one out. And I'm like, let's just go ahead and do it. Worst case, I'm going to go swimming in the middle of the water and just wait for it to blow over or something like that. But you still have that 38 mentality. Or at 30, I'm like, let's go.
Let's get it.
We'll figure it out, you know?
Yeah,
But yeah, I'm
that's
an
an
old dad
exciting.
now.
As scary as it is, it's a crazy experience to be driving through a flaming front. I saw the road like 76 or 78 going into Beulah, and the firefighters are like right there where the Pueblo County sign is, and they got a wall full of smoke and flames, and I'm like, man, like that's some gung-ho shit
terrifying.
right there. Terrifying. But we'll lighten up the mood. I have two crazy things that happened within the past Tuesday, Saturday, Thursday, like 5 days. Yeah. I've been trying to reach out to Rene Vaca and his marketing team. They came to Pueblo at Memorial Hall. It was a grind. I had to jump through hoops to be able to try to get through one person to get to this person just to get to Rene, and it's so hard, but it paid off. They saw all of our outreach on social media. We connected with their marketing team. We ended up connecting with Rene. He was so chill. He was so funny. We got a picture with him. We were going to do a collab, but, you know, being on that level of fame, it's really hard to try to schedule around them because they're not working around us. We're working around them. So they were in Denver the next day, and we got a studio up in Denver, and there's a lot of people up in Denver who also wanted to collab or have been collabing with other famous people. It didn't work out, but we got to meet him. Until next time, until the future. I'm still, you know, it's not a door closed. It was just a door open. And then I met MC Magic on Saturday. I was hustling and bustling that show. I was like, Derek, I'll do photography for Street Champs. He had a booth. Honestly, I just told him I had a booth. I went in. They have a VIP section. So I was like, all right, let me get ballsy. Let me take the risk. I had my camera. I went in. They shut me down. They're like, no, you got to have a VIP pass. I was like, well, who can I go talk to about that? They're like, I don't know, this person. So I had to jump through some hoops right there. I ended up talking to the promoters of the whole event. They gave me a VIP pass, and I got to go backstage, in front of the stage, VIP, where all the musicians were, places where, like, people who bought a ticket couldn't. So I met the musicians, I met the cover girls, I met MC Magic, got a picture, and I was like, well, in the future, let's collab. Because they're a big part of tacos and tequila in Springs. I was like, well, let's collab. Let's do something.
MC Magic and Matt Smith in the same week. Dang. Bro, you should buy a lottery ticket.
I don't know who these people are.
That was over at that Taco Palooza.
I didn't want
Is
that
I
an
was
old
not-
man thing? I got nothing. I have no idea who these are.
Didn't he have a movie?
I don't know.
Yeah,
Magic
maybe.
Mike.
MC, you probably heard it here.
All right.
a song.
No,
You probably
I
heard
get
the
you. It's
song.
good. You young whippersnappers. We know MC Hammer. You know what I mean? Hammer Time? No, you don't know who that is, do you?
No.
I know
Vanilla
Hammer
Ice?
Time, but I don't know
No,
MC
no,
Hammer like
See,
that.
all right.
Parachute pants? No.
Yeah, exactly.
pajamas.
Yeah, exactly. Like parachute pajamas. Come on now.
Nah.
All right.
But that was cool. I was like, man, all the hard
That sounds
work
cool.
paid off. Even when at a point there's like, all right, well, if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. But it happened. And it happened in its own way. And I was like super happy. Super happy. I was like, I felt like a king on a pedestal. I was just like, man, if you keep on grinding towards your dreams, Good things will come. And that's all I got to say about
Amen.
that.
Sweet.
So that was my highlight of the week.
Very cool.
Yeah, it was good. But I got some questions. I've been listening to some Antra. You know what? I'll leave that part out because I don't want them to be like, you're taking my stuff. So I'm gonna piggyback.
I came up with this question right on.
Yeah, exactly. It was so good. I wrote this stuff down. But before we get into that, you two own successful businesses within the community. Matt, you franchised Snooze Mattress all over the world. Vern, I've been hearing your name for like years now, and that kind of says a lot on its own. So, I want to hear where the entrepreneurial journey started with you two.
All right.
Well, I'll start. We both went to college at Converges, which was a telemarketing place here in town. It wasn't called that back then. It was called, was it? Was it Converges?
Converges.
When did they change to something after that?
They changed after, I think.
I don't remember. But anyway, that's where it started for us together. But we're in two different worlds now. But we used to sell together on telemarketing back when somebody would be on a phone calling people, outbound calling somebody to sell them something, and people would pick up their phone because it wasn't weird back then. It didn't say don't pick up this phone. So, but I'll tell you from my side, I was a single, or raised by a single mom in Pueblo, Colorado, and I was selling cell phones inside of a Walmart kiosk. After we had done selling stuff, I got into sales and went to Radio Shack, went to ComNet, and long story short, I got recruited into the mattress business. And at that point, I dropped out of college and went all in the mattress game, and then bought a franchise at 25, learned the franchise game, and then started to get addicted. Bought a carpet cleaning, a spa, a tuxedo company, all these dumb things. I just started opening businesses, just trying to build the muscle of failing and learning and figuring out how all businesses are kind of the same. And, when Snooze was born, I had just kind of put together what I learned of what to do and not to do from Snap Fitness, a franchise that I'm still involved in 20 years later, and really the mattress industry and how broken that it was. And I think the franchise industry is kind of broken, and then that's where Snooze came in. So to me, it was just learning, man. It's just kind of falling on your face a bunch of times and keep learning and growing and building the muscle on success and failure and everything in between while protecting what matters most, a family and, everything out there. So I can go into 4.5 hours on all the different things that have been in there, but really it was just, I always knew that word entrepreneur, I still don't know if I can spell it, was just cool. And I was like, I want to be that when I grow up. Like, that is so cool. People that have flexibility and can do their own thing and, make their schedule, that just sounded really cool. And then it's not as cool all the time on this side, but it does. Like, it's, there's just a lot to it. But I think that, I would, knowing Vern seriously since we were in our teens, this guy's a hustler, and I think that's probably the common denominator with the two of us is grit. We put in the work, we continue to put in the work, and we wanted to be the best at whatever we're doing. If I was at Walmart, I wanted to be the best person checking out people at that stand. If I was selling cell phones, I was going to be the number one. When I got into mattresses, how do I get number one on the list? And I think to me, that's entrepreneurs, that's success. And that's 1%. Like, I don't think there's many people that are built for that or want that or have that fire in their belly every morning to get a little bit better. But if you do, like, there's nothing better than being an entrepreneur and doing your own thing and continue to set goals and grow.
That's super valuable. You pointed out a lot of key factors within that narrative that if you're getting into the world of entrepreneurship, you got to learn to fail. And one thing I heard is, entrepreneurship is about doing what you want with what you have. So if I have a $200 camera and I wanted to go out and be a videographer or a photographer or go shoot some promos for a business, and that little voice in the back of my head is like, nah, you need a better camera, or no, maybe it's too early. You got to do what you want with what you have. You got to just take that risk and do it.
100%. You build it from there.
Vern, where did your story start?
So, really, probably when I was about 10 years old, there was a Larson Enterprises. So my dad he was a railroader at the time, but he started a boat business to sell these. They were called porta boats, and they folded to 4 inches flat. It's a really unique sale, and it was for like people with RVs. They only weighed 59 pounds. They had little racks, and you mounted them to the side of an RV, and you could just throw it on your RV and take it with you. And then you always have a boat, and you can go fishing and stuff. They were like $800, but I'm not gonna date myself. That was a lot of money way back then. And so I'm like 10 years old, and I'm watching my dad, and he's like hiring salespeople to come in and sell these boats, and I'm just like watching them, and they're just not like bringing people in. They're not interacting, and I was like, Dad, is there any way I could try? And he's like, knock yourself out, like whatever you want to do. And so then I just started selling boats, and I sold more in the first boat show than any of the salesmen had ever sold ever, you know. And he's like, okay, we don't need salespeople, we got this. And so, you know, there was like, we could beat on them with a hammer, and you could do all these things and really draw attention to yourself and bring the attention in. So that's what we did, and we sold a ton of them until Cabela's picked them up, and then it just killed the market. But I think that back then, when I was like 10 to 12 years old, that's when I knew that I wanted to be in sales. I went to college, and I wanted to be a reporter, a sports reporter. And so I got into that, and it just wasn't, I got an internship with the Pueblo Chieftain. So like college really met me into a lot of people that, you know, got me where I am today. But it just, once I started doing it, it wasn't great. They really wanted, you know, what happened in this race other than who won. And so I wrote this story about this couple getting married at the racetrack, and I was like kind of embarrassed to turn it in. It was like, you know, exhaust, wedding bells, you know, all this stuff. And I turned it in to the editor, and I was like, oh, this is the worst story I've ever written. Like, I'm so embarrassed. And she's like, this is perfect. This is finally, you did it. This is what we want. And I was like, this isn't what I want, you know? And so the editor saw me struggling, and he's like, you have a great personality. Have you ever thought about sales? And I was like, yeah, I have a little bit of sales. And he's like, let's do some advertising. And so I did some advertising, and then I got recruited by a radio station. And then I put it 100% like on God that I got into this career, because I was struggling. I had a wife, I had a kid, older than Dylan, different kid, different wife. I mean, we've got bills. I'm behind on everything. I'm just struggling, and I'm literally to the point where I'm like crying. So I have my hand in my head, and I'm like crying, and my tears are hitting the newspaper, and I look down, and it's hitting a mortgage company ad. I was like, you know what? I'm going to pull my boots up. I'm going to go over here. I'm going to sell this mortgage company some ads, and we're going to get this thing turned around. I went in there. The guy turned out to be like a really great friend of mine. He taught me everything I know about mortgages. And I just really think like at that time when I was at my lowest, I got pointed into it. And so I've been in it since 1997, and I just absolutely love everything about the business. And, you know, of course you have ups and downs every single, you know, so often, and the market flips, and it's a very volatile business, but I do love it, and I can't see myself doing anything else. And I love the town. So everybody I've met here, I would say the biggest thing for me is never burn a bridge, because you never know who you're going to have to work with later. So I've always been really careful Matt, I wanted to burn that bridge real bad when I took him down, when I beat him every single month, and he just brings these fake stories up. But no,
let's let the record straight that he never beat me once. I have trophies still on my mantle to prove it, with lights that said I beat Vern Larson. I still have the trophies. I'll show them later.
No, we had a really good time.
We did.
It was a crazy cool environment to be in too.
That's fun. I love that story. What is it about mortgages that you love about it?
It's a great career. It's different every day. You're helping people achieve their goals. So you get an instant, kind of like I can put it like a construction company when you finish a house and it's done. You know, like, we did it. Here's your building. Like, we did it. We're closing. We're doing closing kisses. They're super happy. It's a stressful process sometimes, and you know, to just be able to calm everybody down. This is normal. This is what we do. We'll get through this. Like, hang with me. We'll get you to the finish line. It's gonna be fine. Trust me, we got you. And to close, and it's just awesome to see people, you know, and then to see their kids come through. I'm at the age now where kids are coming through buying houses that I've done loans for the parents, and You're like, wow, how did that happen already?
Wow,
That's so crazy.
that's insane.
The one thing I really love about mortgages, and I'm still, just getting into it, but I'm loving it so far. Every deal is a snowflake. And so, how every snowflake is unique, every deal is unique. And it's kind of fun to be in that challenge where it's repetitive, but it's also not at the same time, because every single deal is structured differently, has a different story, can get into a different program, and but still end up at that same finish line. It's very rewarding.
That's awesome. What about you, Dylan? Where did your entrepreneurial journey start?
Oh man, well, you look at my dad, and I think you can see it there first and foremost. And so, growing up, it was always watching him do home loans and just strive to be the best, opening different companies, and fighting his way through the mortgage world. That definitely was a huge inspiration. But I think I was probably 12 years old, walking around my neighborhood with a wagon full of weed spray, and I would go and knock door to door, and I'd ask all the neighbors, "Hey, can I spray your weeds for $20?" And they would go, like, I'd get probably 6 no's, and then I'd get 1 yes, and he'd let me spray his weeds. And then one time, oh man, I was probably like 3 or 4 blocks away. I go in this guy's backyard, and the weeds are all taller than me, and it's the entire backyard, and I'm like, I was like, oh man, I don't have enough spray. I'm going to go out of business. Like, I don't have any, I'm going to use all the spray, and I'm not going to even have enough money to buy more. And so I had to go back up to him, and I was like, hey, listen, I'm so sorry. Like, I'm super accountable here, but I should have looked at your backyard before agreeing to the $20. And so that was a big lesson in, entrepreneurship, is that, make sure that you don't set yourself too thin.
Overpromise.
Overpromise and underdeliver. And so, but no, he told me, well, you agreed to it. And so I really did. I sprayed his entire yard, and he ended up giving me $50 instead of the 20. And so,
Nice.
but it was still an important lesson to, because I could have walked away and I could have never gotten him as a client again. But instead, I sprayed his entire backyard, and, I was rewarded. And so that's something that I try to stick to always.
I love that. And I think attitude is everything, not just in the realm of entrepreneurship, but in life. I think you should have a positive attitude in life.
There's one thing you can control. It's your attitude.
Amen.
Yeah. So
It is. I mean, you can wake up every day and be like, man, this, and this, X, Y, and Z is going wrong. Or you can wake up in the morning and be like, all right, I'm going to make a cup of coffee. I know I got work in about an hour. I'm going to bring the energy, and we're going to make it a great day, because you can make it a great day. Ultimately, you are in charge of your own attitude. And I think that's super important in life in general, not just entrepreneurship, but
I've
in
never
anything.
seen this guy frown one time. He's always
Life
smiling.
is blessed. No, but it's real though. I think you guys are like, if there's nobody gets anything out of this podcast but that, like, attitude is like, I wrote a book, and one of the chapters was Positivity is a Muscle, and I believe as an entrepreneur, like, we get kicked in the face. Like, it's like Mike Tyson said, you always got a plan to get punched in the face, and it's like, that is gonna happen in entrepreneurship. It's gonna happen in life, and you smile or you cry, it's still going to happen. Or if you get mad and you throw a rock or whatever you do, it's still going to happen. And I think that life, Tim Story taught me this. Has been a good friend who's a speaker out there, and he's like, life is like a circle. No matter where you're at in life, health, wealth, family, self, when you get to the top, we think as humans that it's all up here from here. I got it. We're all up. No, it's not. Like, it will come back down, and it could be family, it could be finances, it could be something's going to punch you in the face. And then it's all about getting back up and making sure you're making forward momentum, because there's no such thing as always being on the top. God didn't make us that way. God gave us challenges for a reason. He gave us all of these different things that we have to go through, the trials and tribulations. But positivity is something we can control through all of that, no matter how chaotic it is. Another day in paradise. Like, you gonna get through this. And in entrepreneurship, I believe it's probably the strongest muscle you can have, because you want to quit a lot. Like, there's just a lot of times you're like, all right, maybe this isn't. And I see it all the time, because I'm a franchisor. And as a franchisee, like, that's one thing sometimes you can't interview. You know what I mean? Like, you think they're the right people. And in my business, I can't fire these people. Like, they own a business. We're in bed together for 10 years. They've bought a franchise. And if they don't have that entrepreneur and that eye of a tiger, like, it makes my job a whole lot harder too. But we always say you got to have 3 good things. You got to be a good human, you got to have grit, and you got to be coachable. If you're those 3 things, I can teach you the rest of the stuff. But you got to be a good human. It's just one of those things. And positivity is that part. You got to enjoy it.
Yeah, I think
It's gonna
it's
get hard.
important to surround yourself with people who also are gonna have a similar perspective on life and help you level up with your goals. But long story short, to have the same attitude as you, why do you guys think that's important in life and in this journey of entrepreneurship?
It's just super important to show up. Like, that would be my biggest thing, is like, show up. There's going to be days when you wake up and you're like, I own my own business. I don't need to go in there. You know, I can go to the lake and I can just go sit there and fish all day. But you have to show up. And if you're in that bad mood, sometimes when you show up and something good happens, it just like turns you around right away. But if you're not there, you know, it goes fast, how quick you can just go downhill. You know what I mean? Attendance is everything to me. If you
100%.
don't pay attention to the details in your business and show up, then it's going to be tough. So just pull through and get in there. It's tough.
So when it comes to creating a circle within yourself with other people, how important is that to create a circle with people who share the same values and mindset as you?
I think like the trial and tribulation is that you become the 5 people you hang out with most, right? And so you have to surround yourself with people that you like and that you want to be.
Yeah. And then, I mean, probably your family. Your wife is the only person you can pick in your life. I heard that the other day. I think my wife actually told me that. She got to pick me. But yeah, so you get to pick your family. That's the one person is your spouse. So make sure you do good there. But like my right hand at work, Megan, not Dylan, she's amazing. Like one of the most amazing people, you know, faith-based, just super smart. She's a workaholic. She's amazing. So I'm super lucky to have that, and my business partners are all amazing people. So yeah, definitely pick well when you jump in.
Yeah, I think both in life and in business, but too, like, I think it's like you're driving a bus, you know, and you're the driver, and throughout your life, though, that changes who's on your bus. Like, you know, when I had kids, I had to take off some friends that were like partiers and good people. I enjoyed that part of my life, but it was like, I need my kids around good parents. You know what I mean? Like, that mattered. You need good humans around your kids, or they're going to have some asshole teaching them how to be another asshole, you know? And it's like, you have to protect that. Even though they were fun in this part of your life, you got to get some people off the bus and bring somebody new on the bus. And I think that it's almost like you're rechecking that bus. At some point, that bus is going to crash, and you will die. Like, that's part of life. But protect who's on that bus with you every single day. And people are going to stab you in the back. People are going to let you down. People are going to do things. But like, protect that the core people, like your core 5. And in business, it's the same thing. Like, it's unfortunate. It's the hardest part for me is like losing good people sometimes, or, you know, vice versa. But it's like, I hire people smarter than you and that put in the work, and you're going to win. And I'm the dumbest guy on our team by far. And that's the way I want it. But it's like, but they're all really good humans. And if they're not, it's a season. And when you get to a bigger company, sometimes you need different good humans because they've been there and done that. And then a different season, and it's part of life. But no matter what, you just keep smiling and keep doing it.
I like that. That's a great perspective. You guys shared very valuable perspectives, and I agree with that. You gotta surround yourself with people who are gonna level you up at the end of the day. And I heard that quote too: the 5 people you surround yourself most are gonna be the person you end up becoming. So you gotta choose wisely on who you surround yourself with. And I think that's, again, very important for people to kind of understand in life, because, you know, if you're looking for trouble, you're going to go find trouble. If you're looking to grow, well, you're going to find people who also want to grow as well. So I think society as a whole, I'm going to put it out there, they should do better. We should do better as a society, as a world. We should try to strive to be better human beings and surround ourselves with positive people and be the change you want to see within the world. So I appreciate you guys sharing that. There's a quote I heard, and I want to share this with you guys, and I want your take on it. I gotta get these the pipes ready, because now I gotta read
He's gonna
this.
sing for us?
I'm gonna sing. Yeah, I do
Prove
sing.
it. Prove it.
I do.
Let's hear this.
All right. Okay. All right. Fear is a mile wide, but an inch deep. Besides death, all failure is psychological. The reaction doesn't change my reality. If you do something, people will criticize you. If you do nothing, people will criticize you. It takes about 20 hours to become proficient in something. It just takes people 20 years to get to the first 20 hours. Get the first 20 hours done. All right, that's my little acapella for that. But I hope you got the message. Maybe I gotta do it without
It was
singing.
pretty distracting. but I think-
It kind of was. It
Stick
kind
to
of was.
podcasts. For
It
sure,
kind of
yeah.
was. All right. I'll
we have
read
an
it.
edit button, right?
Yes, it is my phalanges. All right, so here it is. Fear is a mile wide, but an inch deep. Besides death, all failure is psychological. The reaction doesn't change my reality. If you do something, people will criticize you. If you do nothing, people will criticize you. It takes about 20 hours to become proficient in something. It just takes people 20 years to get the first 20 hours done. What do you guys got to say about that? What do you think? What do you think about that?
Man, that's a good one. I haven't heard that, so I think fear does stop a lot of people from entering into their dreams. Is like, I'm scared of failure, and like Matt said, we've all had businesses, we've all had failures in our life, whatever that is, whether that was relationships, business. Everybody's failed. Tests. It is what it is. It's part of life, but it's also like your biggest chance to learn. So if I'm in a relationship and I make XYZ mistakes in that relationship, then when I'm in my next one, I'm like, oh yeah, I probably shouldn't stay out till 3 a.m. because Matt Smith wants me to, and get me in trouble. I should probably go home.
One more. Come on, Brent. Just one more.
So I think it's your biggest chance to learn it. And I still, in this day and age, like in the mortgage business, if I don't get a deal, sometimes I will call the person and ask them, where did you end up and here and why? Like what did they and you kind of learn from it. Maybe it was a different strategy that loan officer took, or a different program that I didn't think about, or something like that. So I think don't be afraid to fail, and it is what it is. It happens, and I think just learn from it. Yeah, you learn the most from your mistakes.
Yeah, that's powerful. Go ahead, Dylan.
To jump in on the second half of that quote, it takes 20 years to get to the first 20 hours. I think like you're gonna fail over and over, and that's why it takes you 20 years to get to that first 20 hours. But I think it ties really well into Matt Ishbia saying that like if you show up every day, so we're talking about attendance, and you might not be the smartest in the room, but you're gonna outwork everyone else in that room. Mm-hmm. I think that's like really where the most successful entrepreneurs come from. Is 100%. That willing to show up and willing to out hustle everyone else, even if you're not the smartest, because that extra hour a day, that extra 10 minutes a day, it adds up over that 20 years, and it really 100%. It really combines.
My favorite quote of his is, it takes what it takes. Like, I don't know what it's going to take, but it's going to take what it takes. Do I have to call 500 real estate agents? Do I have to call 1,000 real estate agents? I don't know what I'm going to have to do, but it's going to take what it's going to take, but I'm going to win. I'm not going to give up.
Goal doesn't change.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I would say for that quote, and I have a quote too I want to tell you after this that it hit me, that it blew my mind, and it'll blow your mind a little bit. But for your quote, I would say one thing in there that Grant Cardone, who was on Undercover Billionaire with us here, I remember him saying this, and it didn't hit me until after the show, but he was like, it's the internal noise that was so hard for him, and the people that chatter out there. And I think the bigger that you get, unfortunately, like what's they're saying in there, like if you win, they're going to complain. If you lose, they're going to complain, whatever in there. I think that you start to build that muscle as well as the positivity and the stuff we were talking about, because I personally, 5 years ago, if I had anybody that tried to say that they didn't like me, I would take them out to coffee and I'd want to get to know them. I'd be like, wait, what do you don't like? I mean, I would go out of my way to make sure that I protected the reputation. I know I'm a good human. I've never screwed anybody over. I've never lied or cheated, but sometimes there's people out there. But now, like, I can't even stop and look into that anymore, because there's so many of them. Like, there's so many people that chatter to chatter. They know nothing about the story, but they make things up because they're on their computer. They can do that, and that's just what they do in life, So it's like, I think there's a point that you've got to keep your guardrails on and just focus on the prize, because you will let your internal team tell you what to do. You will let your family or the negative energy from everybody telling you what you're going to be doing wrong. And it's like, you've got to just focus and do you, because if you took everybody's advice in the room, you're going to lose every way anyway. So you got to be a leader and lead and go the direction you go, and you got to listen, but you got to go one direction. And haters are a part of it, man. Grant knows it better than anybody. And I saw it during that and afterwards. And it was like, it's a part of my life now. I mean, as we grow globally, there's just people that come out of the woodwork. So they're competitors. I'm best friends with all my competitors if they'll allow me. But if I happen to open a store in their community, some of them don't like me anymore. Like, it's not my fault. We sold a franchise. You know what I mean? It's not. But there is just people that have different perceptions on that. And you keep going and know that that is a part of life. Like, there's just haters on the journey. Keep going.
I'll tell you why that resonated with me and blew my mind. Gave me goosebumps, I'm not going to lie, because that's something I have been preaching the past 2 weeks. It hit me. I don't know what hit me. I think if I was to pinpoint it, it's that I'm so obsessed with getting better at what I'm doing and just grinding nonstop until I get to where I want to be. In the rooms where I want to be, where tell me if I'm crazy for this. You kind of basically said, no, you're not crazy in your own way. Because I'm like, you gotta cut out the noise. And a big part of it, for me, I'm just a 23-year-old young man. All right. So I love, a good connection with a woman. I love women just as any other straight man. So,
This just went there.
Yeah. So when,
Can we dim the lights?
and when I'm out hustling and I tell, other people, not just women, but people in general, my vision, my goal, my dream for this, and they kind of like give me a side eye. I'm like, man, that's just noise. Like, even women are gonna bring you down. And I heard this quote by, I think it was the guy, Steve Jobs is the one who created Apple, right?
Mm-hmm.
He lived by a quote, a philosophy, whatever you want to call it. 80% of what you're doing to achieve your vision is the signal, and the 20% is noise. Mm-hmm. And that's why Elon Musk and Steve Jobs are so successful, because they didn't care about what anybody said. 80% is signal, 20% is noise. And that 20% is, even though going out's fun, mingling's fun, connecting with random people's fun, it's not worth it. If it's not bringing me value, it's just noise to me. Mm-hmm. And I don't want to say I'm crazy, and I tell people that because they give me the side eye. But I'm like, guys, if you really want to chase your dream, chase your vision, and I keep preaching this, it's a dream. If you go to sleep and you're dreaming about this, and you wake up and you can't think about anything else, it's a dream. Like, it's not a cliche word to say that. So it's just, that was kind of like a little word vomit and rant, but that's why I resonated with that, because that's been on my mind a lot lately, Matt.
No, I love it. And I mean, it's a challenge in everything. I mean, I think it really is that if you listen to the people outside, make your decisions in life, they'll make your decisions in life. You know what I mean? You've got to, you do you, boo. You go the direction. And I think, like you were saying, like, here's the goal. The goal doesn't change, but how you get there changes every flipping day, because what you thought was going to work didn't work. So it's the art of the pivot, but you're still making forward progress to get to whatever you set out to get. But on that journey, if you get stuck in haterade, man, it's a whole different game, and you can get pulled into that. I mean, I take an ice bath every morning. I do breathing exercise, meditation. Like, it's my way of getting my brain, like, this is the hardest part of the day. Let's take it on. But I've had to train myself to do dumb things like that might be dumb, but it's changed my life, because it allows me to, like, ground myself and start the day, because I know when I start getting those emails, it's like, whew, firefighting. I'm just out there. What's next? What do we got to do? But before that, I got to get all the noise out and focus on what I am. And that's just habits. I think we all have that. If sometimes you got to walk out of the room, take a breath, get back in and go do your thing. But there's, we all have it. It's life. God gave us stress. He gave us anxiety. That's all part of the life. It's how you deal with that and get through that.
Yeah, that's powerful. That's
So let me tell you my quote that'll blow your mind and your
Say
listeners'
it.
mind out, because I just heard this and it's gross. But this is the first generation ever that will die with less memories of their life than other people's lives. This generation will die with more memories of other people's lives than their own life.
Why do you think that is? Do you think it's because of the whole technology boom?
Social media.
Social media, yeah.
We're following jelly rolls, divorce. We're following this. We're following all this before we actually go out and make an adventure ourselves.
But I think you can even argue this. I
gross.
mean, we just heard a couple stories from you guys, and so those are 3 more stories that those people now remember of your guys' rather than their own. And so,
Yeah, like, and all of these things are just like people are infatuated with other people's lives. So again, it goes back to the haters and all this thing, is because people get into somebody else's life instead of living their own freaking life. Like, life is short. We got one chance at this, and nobody's getting out of it alive. Like,
Yeah.
enjoy it, smile, do dumb shit, do things that scare you.
Yeah, they say comparison is the thief of joy. And everybody's always comparing themselves to
So fake.
the next best thing on social media.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, sure, it's out there to either bring value or bring debauchery. But you shouldn't dictate your life around what this Instagram model is trying to tell everyone how they should be, or how Andrew Tate is trying to tell young men to be. I think you should live your own life.
Yeah.
You should find adventure, do stuff that scares you, live life with a little bit of fear, but overcome that fear. And just be happy. You know, it's easier said than done, but it's as simple as waking up in the morning and being like, I'm going to have a great day.
And definitely in business, I would say, you know, we see loan officers get all sucked into the economy and worrying about, you know, rates went up an eighth today, whatever. And it just changes their whole mindset. There's only one economy that really matters, and that's your own. You know, like, am I going to find one deal today? I'm not going to leave the office till I find one deal today. You know what I mean? That's kind of our mantra, is like, it doesn't matter what's out there. There's always going to be a need, okay? In mortgages, as crazy as it sounds, there's always a need. Even if rates were 15%, somebody's going to get divorced. Somebody's going to have a kid. Somebody's going to pass away. There's always a need for mortgages. So are you going to be able to just go get that one deal that's out there right now for your economy? Don't worry about the rest of the world. That's just noise. You know what I mean?
100%.
Focus in on you, focus in on your economy, and you'll be fine.
And all those people need to sleep too. They all need good mattresses. Snooze Mattress Company. Those best mattresses will fit you custom for a mattress. I'm just saying.
And then I think one other thing, you know, from a business side is, you said it earlier, and I kind of wanted to jump in then, but I kind of waited. Is like, people are going to disappoint you. You know what I mean? Like, I've trained some loan officers, and it's like, you know, you spend 2 years investing your heart and soul in this person to teach them the business, to make them good at it, and then they decide to go somewhere else. And I could get really mad about that, and I could just be like an angry, like, I'm going to report his Facebook. I'm going to, you know, when I see his car at the bar, I'm going to slash his tire. But I almost like turn it around in my mind and, you know, I did a really good job training that guy. He's pretty good competition. He's making it tough on me.
Man.
So,
Hey, man,
yeah.
I love that. That's great.
So
High tides raise all boats.
yeah. So I'm like, you know, he's doing good, but I'm going to figure out what I can do to do a little bit better and get, you know, I'm going to pull a couple more from him and get them in my pipeline, you know? So instead of letting that hate resonate in you when somebody disappoints you, just let it go and turn it into a positive somehow, whatever it may be, you know? So even in our business, if rates go up tomorrow to 9%, oh no, we went from 6 to 9 overnight. What is that? It's a terrible thing, right? No, that means like some people are going to say, finally, oh, I'm out of this business and I don't want to do this anymore. So that's a positive for me, because now, you know, there's less people doing this. I have less competition. It's going to be a little bit easier for me. Even though it's potentially a little tougher, it's going to be easier. So you just got to put a positive spin on whatever's going on and stay in that positive mindset.
Yeah, and to add that, I love what you're saying, because I think it's like you control what's in your bubble. Like, we're in a bubble and we control our bubble. And it's like, if you're Democrat or Republican, who your president is, who's not your president, who the governor is, who's the city, you don't control any of that. You can control what's in your bubble and that one more client a day, one more mattress sale a day. You're like, what? That's what I can control. And my family being positive, my family being happy, and me loving on my wife, I can control that. I can't control a war that's going on in Iran. There's nothing I can do on that side. There's nothing we can do there. But we have a bubble, and our job is to smile in that bubble and enjoy that bubble, and in circle of control. There's things you can't do, and there's things you can do. Control what you can.
Well, and there's always more of the pie, right? There's always a slice of pie. There's crumbs out there. There's always more out there, even if you think that, oh man, there's nothing for me in this town. There's always another crumb. There's always somebody out there that's willing to give you a
Grant
chance.
says that, right, Disney? There's unlimited. What does he say? There's unlimited amount of money. You just got to go get it, or something like that.
Well, and it's like a true story though too. Like they print money for making it. Like you could make an unlimited amount of money for sure. Yeah, I love that. Just one more.
Yeah, no, that, man, you guys are dropping some valuable advice.
Well,
here.
that's why you brought us here, right?
That's exactly why.
That's why I
Being
wore
the
my
buffalo.
pajamas.
Yeah.
Being the buffalo.
Exactly. So I love that. I
Good night's sleep
appreciate
last night.
you. Yeah,
saying,
yeah,
good
yeah. I
last
can
night. I was
tell.
ready for this.
I can. That's, man. I wish I can say the same. I'm gonna have to get a mattress one day.
We got your back.
I got
Literally. We've got your back.
I love that. I want to ask Dylan first, and then I want to hear your guys' perspective on it from being in the business world for as long as you guys have. But Dylan, being a young entrepreneur, graduating CSU with a degree in business management, correct?
Yep.
We've, talked a little bit, shared some similar perspectives on life, and I kind of want to get your take on this. So everybody now seems like they're going to school for business or marketing because they want to, be financially successful. And you're looking at a lot of successful entrepreneurs, and you're like, well, how do I get to that level? They've created a status where it seems like it's passive now, right? Like passive income. But I think the lack of understanding is it took so much active work to get to that level. Where sure, there is some passive income being generated, but you're still having to actively work so that way it can make you money. So what do you think about people who are like, man, I want to create passive income, but little do they know they got to work for it.
Well, I think like the first thing, the passive income is like, well, you have to have an idea, right? You have to have some sort of idea where you can funnel your time and effort into that, because no matter what you do, you're going to have to put effort in to get rewarded, right? It doesn't matter if you're flipping houses, if you're setting up bars and a TV to sell advertisements, if you're starting a company, it doesn't matter what you do, you have to put that time and effort in first. And I think you have to be an expert in no matter what you do to be successful in business. And some of the best advice I've ever gotten is be an expert. And to become that, you have to ask a lot of questions. So just have that constant crave for knowledge, and just try to, become an expert in your field. And even when you're an expert, never stop learning that field. And I think once you get to that point, when you have that expert knowledge, then you can start to kind of venture out, and you're going to see opportunities that a lot of people don't, which is where that passive income opportunity arises.
Do you think passive income exists, or even when you're getting passive income, you're still having to actively work for it?
I don't think there's any such thing as like a completely passive income. Even if you have a lawn mowing operation that you just oversee, you still have to oversee that business. Even if you're, it kind of runs itself, you have managers and stuff, you still have to make sure the managers are showing up. You still have to be in the business. And they were kind of even mentioning on it earlier, you have to be in the weeds, in the details, to make sure that your business is running successfully and that it's not going to tear your name down, especially in a business setting.
Yeah, no, that's true. What do you guys got to say about that?
I would just say never relax. That's what I would say, because as soon as you relax, that's when you're going to get past. Except for if you're on your snooze mattress. Brought to you by Matt Smith. Please relax all you want.
Everybody
But
deserves
everybody else, do never relax, because as soon as you slow down, your competition is going to come by you. And the passive income that people think of, like real estate and that, it's a lot of work. Like I'm in it. Renters are a lot of work. Hard money loans are a lot of work. Collecting, interest payments. It's all a lot of work. There's, in my opinion, nothing is easy in this life. You're going to have to work for it. And I would say never relax unless you're on Matt's mattress.
Unless you're on a mattress.
What if you
Adjustable
need a
base,
house to
massage.
put that mattress in? We know a couple
We got-
guys.
Yes,
Yeah.
we got that too. We all like divorces, but don't like divorces. I'm just kidding. We hate when people get divorced, but no, I'm just kidding. It's horrible. Married, I mean, the other side. Yeah, no, I think it's right. I mean, if you look at Bezos, like, I mean, I saw him interviewed one day that he's like, I got, maybe 5 more years before, and that was a couple years ago, before someone's going to outcompete me. Like, I got to be on my toes. Like, and this is a guy in the big, look at Starbucks. I mean, Starbucks, you would have thought is untouchable. They're closing stores left and right now because the new people are coming. Like, there's no such thing as I figured it out. Like, top of the circle. It's going to come back down. Like, it's a matter of time in your life and all that. And there's just other challenges that come with that. But I think to your point, just stay on your toes and be the hardest working man in the room. That's all you can do.
Yeah. I heard Mr. Beast say this, and it kind of blew my mind because where he's at in his, I guess, career
Do you know who
journey.
Mr. Beast is?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, do you guys know who Mr. Beast
That was
is?
a cute question. He has to ask his dad. Do you know who Mr. Beast is, Dad? Let me tell you. He's like a billionaire right on the line. He's like the number. He's a pretty big deal.
So this is what he said. On paper, yes, he is quote unquote a millionaire, but he is not taking home more than $1 million in his own actual bank account. And I don't think a lot of people understand that when it comes to, I guess, being, quote unquote a millionaire or having a business. They think it's all sunshine and rainbows and you're going to be profitable and you're going to be, this person with over 6 figures in your bank account. But little did you know, the actual person isn't, a millionaire in their bank account. On paper, sure, it is, but in reality, they're not. So could you guys elaborate on that a little bit with, your own experiences within the business world, being a loan officer and being someone who franchised globally? Is that reality?
You're a billionaire on paper, right?
No, not quite. Just a bit outside.
Just a little bit. Yeah, I guess I don't really know the question. I'm gonna go back to the question.
So I would say,
how much
I don't care who you are. I think everybody is 6 months away from bankruptcy. If the perfect storm hit and you weren't prepared, you know what I mean? I think anybody could get themselves in a big pickle. So again, it goes back to, you're at the top of that circle, like Matt was saying, and you have to be ready for that next challenge that's out there. And if you're not, that's when something can catch up to you and really take you down. For me, it was 2008 to 2010 in the mortgage world. It just, before that, we were doing loans like drinking from a, water hose. As fast as you could get one in, you could get the next one out, and then all of a sudden the whole market flipped and it just went completely upside down. Lenders are going out of business. They had the implodometer and, 40, 50, 70, 80, 200 companies a day going down, and like big time companies, Washington Mutual, Long Beach, all these things. And you're like, how could this be happening? Like, how does this happen? And if the perfect storm happened, it could happen, So luckily I like to have my fair share of fun, but I also like to hold back 6 to 9 months of living. And I want to be like, I don't have to close a loan for the next 6 months and I'll be fine. And I've always kind of lived like that. And that really, solidified where I'm going to live like that, where I'm not going to put myself in those things and get myself too far out of control.
Yeah, I see where you're coming from. Let me try to rephrase this for you.
I think I got it, Ish, but go for it. Give me it.
I'm not a millionaire, but if someone's a millionaire on paper, in reality, in their actual bank account, they don't probably have millions of dollars.
Yeah.
Just because of, all your expenses, all your operational expenses, and all the XYZ that goes into it. So I don't know how to pose this into a question, but
Kind of like if as running a business, it's not as easy as it sounds, right? And so if you can elaborate on your experience, I think is what Xander's trying to get at here.
per se, yeah.
Yeah, it's not. It's tough. No, but yeah, I mean, I remember buying houses from him back before 2007. And he was just like, sign here. Like, you got a blood pressure. Come on in, buy a house.
Fog this mirror up. You're good.
Yeah, go ahead. You're good to go. And then after that, I'm like, oh, shoot, that all changed. But no, I think to your point, yeah, I mean, you've got to be able to have the runway and to be able to put it in there, but you don't start with runway. So it's hard to say that too. Like, you got to get smarter with your money. And I think that does come with a little bit of age and wisdom. Unfortunately, I don't want to say that at 19, I didn't know that. At 25, I didn't know that. I would make money and I'd open another business. Then I'd make money and I'd open another business. And then I'd just keep on leveraging myself as I was learning. Now, the old people in the room were like, okay, now how do you make sure that you're doing that smart and intelligently scale as opposed to, and I think that does come with a little bit of time. But it becomes like, to me in my age, it's like, okay, now it's like, how do you create $1 billion business or whatever that number is, $100 million, $500 million, like, it doesn't matter how much cash in the bank. I'm creating something. I'm in this I want to change the world of sleep, and I want to have 1,000 stores and really change the perception of the way that people buy mattresses globally, not just that's my goal in life. Like, money comes with that. Cool. Yes, we have numbers and stuff that comes with that, but that's not I don't get out of bed saying I want to be a billionaire when I grow up. Like, I do want to change the world, and I want to do it through sleep because it's what I know, and I know that there's a gap for it, and I know I can do it. That's always my relentless goal on the other side. With that will come a lot of cool things, but I've never been like, I want to have a jet and I want to do this and do that. I'm not motivated by that. I want to have freedom for my kids, and I think money buys you freedom for sure. You know what I mean? But you got to spend it too. Like, I don't ever want to teach people to like, I don't remember those people that always teach people to save and pay off their credit cards and stuff like that. Like, you still got to be free, man. You still once in a while got to enjoy a good meal, and you got to have fun, and you got to do dumb things. Like, you got to spend money too. Like, life is too short, and people die like this and didn't expect it. So spend your money, but find that risk and reward. What is your goals, and find out what is your mentor. Because, I remember speaking one day and somebody's like, you've been around the most successful people in the world and billionaires all over the world. What's the key to that? And I was like, well, success isn't being a billionaire. Most of those freaking people are unhappy as hell. Like, I don't know many billionaires that are happy. They've sacrificed everything to get money. Like, forget that. Like, that is not what success means in life. It's to have a loving wife over here that adores you and a son that adores you. Like, that's success. You know what I mean? But we get caught up in the social media that says, get a jet and get this cool and get a six pack, and screw that. Like, that's not what life is about. Like, money should just buy you a little bit of freedom and some happiness, but it should never dictate what is next in life one way or another. So, and I will tell you that I think your generation, you have a cheat code. And I'm not saying this as some old guy in the room, but I'm saying this because the newest generation is lazier than they've ever been, and they're not putting in the work. And if you just put in work and you have grit, you have an advantage that some of us guys, that we had a lot of hardworking people that were like trying to change the world and do that. And nowadays people are wanting to do it from home and get it easier and not have to put it like, it's not a judge. It's a reality. I think that you put in work, you can outrun everybody around you a lot faster than it was able to do in the past.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You touched on 3 really important pieces right there. Number 1, you got to have a strong why about where you want this to go. It's not about the money. It's about what's really driving you. For you, it's sleep, and that's really important. I forgot the other one, but the third one is man, I forgot that one too, but it's okay. But that one really kind of jumped at me, was your why. And you're not doing this for the money and the fame. It's because you genuinely have a passion for sleep, and you want to change the world with sleep. And that's something, I'm not going to lie. I got to really dial in, go into a journal, go into my computer, and really figure out my why. I know why I want to do this. I want to change the world. I want to change people's attitudes and perspectives on life, on, their passions. You should chase your dream. I feel if more people chase their dream in life, maybe the world would be different. I don't know. But I hope one day, with the new age, and that's what the third one was, of social media, that I can have that leverage to do so, to be able to reach people across the world in Pueblo, and branch out on just taking that risk and doing it, and not caring what anybody has to say, and just doing it for you and trying to change the world in their own way. So those are the 2 things that jumped out on me. But you also touched on managing your finances, both of you, in a smart way, what do you think one thing is that people, I guess, lack with their finances when they're trying to control them, and how can they fix that?
I think it goes a lot back to what Matt was saying about like Instagram and trying to impress somebody for no reason. You know what I mean? You don't need to drive a G-Wagon or a Mercedes to impress somebody. You know what I mean? You don't need to go buy the newest, fanciest suits in the whole world. I'm wearing like JCPenney suit, right now. So if you... of course it looks good. I'm wearing it, bro. No. He's wearing pajamas for crying out loud.
That was a pajama party.
So I think if you spend that money trying to impress somebody else for no reason, instead of investing in yourself, investing in your business, that's where a lot of people kind of get tripped up in this day and age, in this society, is like, I want to get the clicks, I want to get the likes and all that and kind of stuff, and trying to be something you're really not, you know, and 100%. And people really love genuine people. Like, I'm just me. When you come in and talk about a home loan, like, I joke about my kids, my wife, like everything. It's just me, you know what I mean? And sometimes we have our dogs in the office. It's just who we are, and that's okay. If some people don't like that, or don't want to do business with me, I just look at it, well, it might have just saved me a big headache. You know what I mean? Whatever. I turn that into a positive, even where, okay, they didn't like me. That's okay. They don't have to like me. They can go talk to Dylan. No, he's just like me. They better go talk to Donna.
Okay.
So I don't waste money on trying to be something you're not.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's important. Dylan, what do you got to say, being a young man?
Surround yourself with good mentors. Really, I mean, find some people like this that you trust, that you know are successful, that are in the shoes that you want to be in, and they're going to have some great advice for you. They really are, and they're going to set you up well. They're going to show you the blueprint to success, and if you follow in those footsteps, it's still going to work.
You've been really smart with your money the past few months. What do you think one thing is? I don't even want to say number one thing, because there could be 5 number one things, but what do you think a big thing is that people struggle with money, and how they can fix it?
Man, I don't want to name names here, but I have a couple friends. I have multiple friends. It's not just one group here. So anyone watching this that is my friend, it's not necessarily only you, but especially in my generation, I see a lot of people wasting money on like DoorDash, and wasting money on eating out a lot, and just things that don't really matter. You know what I mean? And if, you're willing to go out and just go pick it up, you save yourself $20, or silly purchases. You know what I mean? It may be stuff that you don't really need in your house, but you really want. And I think balancing those wants versus needs, and having a healthy balance, that can really make a big difference in controlling your finances. And especially as a young person, setting a budget for yourself. Even if that means talking to a young financial advisor that is still kind of getting on their feet, but are willing to work with you, and set a budget for yourself. Start, putting money down the line. Make your goals for yourself, and figure out what you want to do with your money. And, how much money do you want? How much money do you need? And, balancing that and getting to your goals. Does that kind of make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So for me, it's just make a budget. Don't spend money on silly things as much. Make those cutbacks, and set yourself goals. And that way you can feel like you get yourself there. And once you hit that goal, then what are you going to do with that money? So if your goal is to have $10,000 saved in the bank, what are you going to do with it? Is that your emergency fund, and now you save another $10,000 to go invest? Are you going to take that $10,000 and start a business? What are you going to do with it? And having that long-term thinking is something that I feel like our generation really lacks. Mm-hmm. It's all in the now, the short term, but we have a lot of life left.
Yeah, that's important, man. That's really important. Matt, what do you got to say?
I would just say, live way below your means. I think what they both said too. I mean, they see probably everybody's credit and their credit cards and everything going on out there to when they're qualifying people for loans. And I think that live below your means. I think, that was a big success as a young person for me, is when I was opening other businesses. I was like Snap Fitness, for example. I literally made zero money for 5 years. I remember on year number 5, I made my first profit. And if I didn't have other incomes or other things going on, that would have never happened. And then after that, I started to learn that and like, okay, now I can duplicate that and do that. So it's really about like diversify, but get smarter as you learn, because you will burn money somewhere, somehow, but learn from the burn and stop the burn and make it work for you somehow, some way, if you're in the entrepreneur game. But I think as we all talked about the why, like that's the most important thing, because it's like not everybody's money driven, not everybody's like Facebook, not everybody's social, like, you know, joy is not found in that. If anybody out there could see that, like I put an app on my phone called Be Present, and it stops me from Facebook after 5 minutes. And I did that because I know I have ADD. I know that I could go down rabbit holes. Everybody can. That's what the algorithms are designed to do. Like, but if you look at my face, I barely ever comment back because I don't want to. Like, it could drive me crazy, and I could spend 2 hours going, thanks and love you. And like, I just can't. Like, if I post, it's usually a post because I know myself, and I will sit on those things forever. And it's like, you got to get out of everybody else's lives and get into your own life, but find your why. Like, don't go for money just to go for money. If that's not your driver, man. One of my best friends growing up, man, he just needed a 6-pack of beer and to own his own house and his fridge and to pay his mortgage. And I always envied that. Like, I'm like, he is so freaking happy. And he just has a 12-pack in his and he just does. That's all he ever wanted. Like, I'm like, I always want, okay, I get there. And like, what's next? What's next? So sorry.
I know people that are happier in the back of their truck with a sleeping bag, up in the mountains looking at the stars and the trees all day, than people that have huge houses and, you know, golf every day or, you know, whatever it is. I know there's people that, you know, find your happiness, find your why.
Amen. I know I feel like I'm as successful as I need to be. Like my wife adores me. I love my wife. I have 3 beautiful, healthy children that are great humans. If I died tomorrow, I know they're incredible humans. I won. That's success to me. You know, all this other stuff is noise. It'll all figure its way out one way or another. But in entrepreneurship and family, I always like, if you're going to lose one or the other, man, let that freaking business drown and protect what matters most, because sometimes you got to figure that out too. There's hard times in that, but let the business go. Like you'll never regret that.
Mm-hmm. And that's something I kind of wanted to touch on. That's something that as a young person, I'm still trying to figure out. Where do you balance your work-life balance? How do you find that balance? Is it a personal journey? Is it case dependent? What do you guys think?
To me, it's like I prioritize everything outside of my family. Like my family is the first on the calendar and what they've got going on, the weekends of basketball games, what I have to do. And then I put my business on the other side of it. And my employees know that. My team knows that. Like that's just, you know, I grew up with a single mom. Like I didn't have a dad. So I'm probably overcompensating, but I refuse to not be there for my kids. And that's just been my commitment to my wife and to my kids from day one. So, and I've always known that like this other stuff is fun and it's the noise, but like relationships are work too. It's not like this stuff works overnight. Like you got to put work into a relationship and make sure you're putting that work into a relationship or that thing doesn't work. So, you know what I mean? And then just find out whatever your kids' whys are and life's whys are and, you know, balance. But to what he said earlier, the most important thing you do is find the right woman in your life. Like that's single-handedly the most important thing you can do.
And then once you have that, like my job, it's very flexible. So there'll be times when I'm really, really busy, and there's times when I'm not that busy. So I like to communicate with, you know, when he was a younger kid with my wife, you know, I'm super busy. I'm going to be up at 5. I'm going to be home at 7. Sorry, you know, that's what I'm going to do to get this work done that needs to get done. But we also have like boat days where we go out on a Tuesday and we take the boat and nobody else is on the lake and it's just us and we all throw our phones in the glove box and it's just us. You know what I mean? So even if it is only 2 or 3 hours, it makes up for a lot because we're together and we're doing family things together, you know? So make the time when you can and do it. It's a little bit of a sacrifice in your business, but it's 1,000% worth it, you know, to always make the time and always be there. And it's great being an entrepreneur because you have time. Like I made a ton of volleyball games. I've made a ton of baseball games. I've been able to go do all the things that I want to do. Like if I really wanted to, I could go to Waterworld tomorrow with my kids, but I'm not going to because nobody wants to see this at Waterworld.
Hear that, Dylan?
Prove
that,
it.
Dylan?
I'm not going. I wasn't invited. That's the other.
I love that. That's really important. Was it a challenge to find that ride or die woman within your lives, or did it just kind of happen, you know, spontaneously?
I struck out a few times. I mean, kept going to the plate, but She's like covering her face over there. I love it. It's T-Rag 1, it's T-Rag 2. But it's communication all day, Xander. Like, you just have to explain, this is the business I'm in. This is what I've chose as a profession. You know, I'm going to answer my phones. That's how I make my living. You know, I usually answer my phone 8 to 8. I'm not going to answer it after that. You know, I'm going to take days off and be there. But it's communication and understanding both ways. And Abby runs the ag program at Pueblo County High. And like last week, I was in Holyoke, Colorado. Go find that on a map, I dare you. And, you know, we spent quality time there, won a golf tournament. We had a good time. Yeah. And so we both have an ebb and flow where we put a lot of time in, but we communicate and it makes it work.
That's beautiful. It is. Matt, what about you? Was it a challenge to kind of find your ride or die soulmate, or did it happen spontaneously?
I think it just, you know, I mean, I was single in my 20s, so I enjoyed my 20s and, you know, dated a lot of women and had my fun and knew that I was waiting for the right one. And when Jenny came into my life, it was the one, you know. I mean, you always say find that person that's like your mom, and she was the one that just took it. And 2 years later, it took me a little too long to propose, and she'll tell you that. But 2 years later, yeah, I mean, I am the luckiest man on the planet Earth because I did find that. And there's a lot of people that, you know, they have a kid and they end up just getting married to marry, or they settle because they're nice, you know, on the other side. And life is so much easier when you got somebody that's your ride or die, you know, that supports you no matter what it is and that you can communicate with. And it's going to be hard. Like, there's no such thing as a perfect relationship, just like no perfect business. But you put in the work, like Vern said, like put in the work and communicate. But I am, you know, I'm the luckiest man alive. I definitely found the woman of my dreams in every which way. And 13, we just celebrated 13 years last night at Pepper Tree in Denver Springs. And it was like we just started dating all over again. Like, it's like, that's a cool thing though, like to be able to know that she's my person. So look for that, find that. And
beautiful.
Don't settle until you get there though. Like, 'cause that's too many people settle and then they go through stuff, you know?
Yeah, I agree with that statement. How did you know she was the one? What was it about her that you just knew within your heart, this is the person I want to spend the rest of my life with?
Man, I think when you know, you know. I mean, I could probably talk 3 hours about how amazing my wife is, but I think it's just one of those things that, I mean, it's also one of those things that's like burn the boats too. Like, you know, you commit and you just go all in. Like, you commit and you figure it out throughout the whole process. But I mean, I think it was like, I would tell you my trials and tribulations in my 20s, and everybody I dated led up to my wife, like what I didn't want, you know. It was kind of like, no, that didn't work, that wasn't gonna work. Like, I can't handle that for the rest of my life. And then it's like, there is the one that fits that mold that I was looking for through all my 20s. So, you know, I can tell you what I was looking for, but, you know, ultimately I don't know if that's universal out there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but you pointed out you answered the question. When you know, and you won't know until you go through different experiences to figure out what you like, what you don't like, how you work with someone else, how you don't work with someone else.
100%.
So it's
like working in a job that you hate, or working for somebody that you don't like, and you just do it because you're like, I got retirement in 15 more years, 14 more years, 15 more years. You know what I mean? It's the same thing in a relationship sometimes. It's like, no, find the right one.
Well, Abby's just an amazing cornhole thrower, and that's how she got me. You know? No, I'm just, really what I knew is she just makes me a better person, you know, and I didn't get upset. I didn't get angry all the time with her, you know what I mean? And she just made me a better person, helped, you know, my walk in faith. And with her just making me a better person, I was like, I cannot let this one go. I tried on accident for a minute, but I fixed it, you know? And so I knew that when I was apart from her, I was like, she makes me a better person. I can't, you know, go on this journey without her. So I'm going to go snatch her up and make her marry me. So and flew her out to Vegas and made it happen.
beautiful. Beautiful.
Romantic that way.
Yeah. Very, very romantic.
Elvis?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's awesome.
She was wearing camouflage jean shorts.
What were you wearing?
Don't recall.
That's funny. I love those true stories. It's genuine, and you can't beat genuineness. You know, when you know, you know. You, Vern, have touched on your faith. Are you guys do you guys follow God?
Yeah, for sure. We try to go to church as much as we can every Sunday. We like to, encourage that with our kids. We just absolutely love our pastor. He really takes the stories from the Bible and puts them into a real life perspective. And when I leave church, I reflect and go, oh, okay, yeah, I could see how, something that happened way back when still comes into today's world, and Old Testament, New Testament, and it just makes me a better person and a, better business person for sure.
Mm-hmm. Do you guys think asking God for guidance is very important, not only in life, but on the journey through entrepreneurship?
Sure. And then don't always worry about if a prayer is not answered. Unanswered prayers can be a good thing. And my wife and I have really deep conversations about this, to go back to the sad, to the fire, why does this happen? We don't know why. We don't understand it, but there's a different reason why it's happening, and we just don't understand it. But we just have to trust that it's for a reason, and whatever that reason is, we don't know. One of the biggest things in my life is when my mom, well, it was my dad's wife, so my stepmom passed away. She had cancer, and she knew, and everybody's just distraught, upset, and she just kind of pulled us in, and she's like, I want everybody to calm down. I know where I'm going. I know what's about to happen. I'm good. I got this. I know what's happening. And so that was a really big shift where it's okay. Nobody's getting out of here alive. It's going to be okay. And, for me, that was a huge kind of turning point as when she passed away, as sad as that is.
That's powerful, man. What about you guys? Does God play a role within your own life?
For me, absolutely. How could you live on this beautiful, perfect world? I guess it's not a perfect world, but it's the way that the world is set up, and the way that God is, from breathing to trees to temperature, the climate, everything out there. I don't know how you could not believe in God and be in such a perfect environment in the world that we live in. And I do every single morning. I take my, it's my routine is ice bath, 3 minutes of gratitude. I'm a firm believer that you can't be mad and grateful at the same time. So what are you grateful for? And write it down. And then 3 minutes of prayer. I'm a big believer in prayer every day. And, I raise my kids every morning to do that as well too. But, we go to church, we love church, but I think that it's, spirituality comes from within, and God is good. And I know two things. I know God exists, and I know that God loves me, because he's blessed me my whole life for sure.
That's powerful, Matt. Dylan?
I think the biggest thing for me, absolutely, I believe in God, and you can not believe in God, or you can believe in God, and at the end of the day, if you're following the Bible, even if nothing exists afterwards, you're still a better person. And so you either live through your life and you follow the Bible and you're a good person, you make good decisions, and you follow a good life, and there's nothing, or there's the contrary where you didn't follow it, you weren't a good person, maybe you did bad things or whatever, and then you get to the end, and if it is there, then what? Now it's over. And so it's either live a good life or don't, is what it comes down to for me. And so a lot of those stories, like he was saying, resonate to today, and they're lessons at the end of the day to teach us. And hopefully you can learn from the mistakes of people in the past and not make those mistakes again. And even if you do, it's okay.
Man, you guys are making me a little emotional right now. I like it. Hitting me right in the feelings. I believe 100% in spirituality. Kind of butchered that a little bit, but we're going with the flow here. I grew up Christian, went to church every Sunday, every Wednesday. And then along my own life, a lot of stuff happened, and it made me really question, is there a God? But now, being older, more mature, choosing the path I want to go down, I'm leaning more towards, you know what? Everybody says you're there, and I pray, and I ask God for guidance and try to see if he can lead me in the right direction, because I have no clue where I'm going. I'm just taking the ball and running with it. Hopefully I get a touchdown. Maybe I go past the touchdown field and we're in the other end zone. I don't know how this is going, but I'm just going to run with the ball here. So what it is for me is I don't know what I'm doing, and I am seeking guidance on trying to be a better person, but also overcome these challenges within my life. And I've seen a lot of people, tell me, I've heard a lot of people tell me that they've asked God for guidance and it's done wonders for them. And they're good people. And I'm like, man, it's so mind-boggling to just wrap your head around that concept. So that's kind of like my take on it. And I love hearing everybody's opinion on it, because, everybody has their own opinion on it. And it's good to hear different perspectives and different opinions and take what little part you resonated with and implement it within your own life. So thank you guys. I appreciate.
Let me give you some advice.
Tell me, lay it on me.
You'll never have it figured out.
It's kind of like women. Yeah, you never figure it out.
And that's the fun of it, man. Like, I don't have anything figured out, and I'm still learning every single day. And I'm still growing all the time. And I've been in some big environments, some of the biggest businesses in the world, and it's chaos. Nobody has it figured out. So quit trying to figure it out.
Well, that's what kind of makes life fun, right?
Amen.
Figuring it out.
Exactly. And when you do, there's something else you got to figure out on the other side. It's like climbing the biggest mountain. There's a bigger one on the other side.
Mm-hmm. It's all a personal journey. It's all about health, wellness, personal development. And man, I just want the world to know that people are here for them, to listen to their stories. People relate to what they're feeling. And you can change the world. You just gotta get out of your own head and take that risk and do it. And just do it. You can have people along your side with you. I'm not saying cut out family, friends, people that bring you joy. I'm saying cut out the noise, the stuff that's going to end up subconsciously in your head where doubt lives. Cut out the noise that's doubtful towards where you want to go, but also enjoy life and have fun, so... Man, yeah, I like to get deep a little bit. I do. I love getting deep because we're all human at the end of the day. And at some point in our life, we have all experienced the same emotion, but not everybody talks about it. And I think it's important for people to open up about these deep emotions and talk about it with one another, because you never know who could relate to that. You never know who's feeling alone and is like, man, I know or I don't know if someone feels the same way I do. So I think it's important, especially as men. It's June 30th, the last day, Men's Mental Health Month. Mental health is so important. So I love getting deep on here. I don't know about you guys, but...
Loved it, man.
I like it. Yeah, we've had a lot of subjects. I like it.
We have.
All the way around. It was good.
We have. There's a little different take different approach I want to take on the closing. I usually do something else, but something just popped into my head. We've been talking a lot about quotes, and I just want you guys to leave the viewer with a quote that really resonated with you guys. After that, we'll introduce ourselves, still learning the lingo, the word terminology, if you will. But I want you guys to give a quote that resonates with you to the viewer. Starting with you, Dylan.
Oh, man. Start over there. I got to think for a second. Start down there.
Let Matt go last. That's what I say. Matt's going to have the best one. So.
Okay, Vern.
Mateen Cleaves comes to mind. He says, keep your mind right and keep your grind tight. So keep your mind right and keep your grind tight. And he was a basketball player, national championship at Michigan State, and I got to be in a room with him a few times, and that's one of his sayings. And get rid of that negative, keep your mind right, and then keep your grind tight, man. Get up and do it. No one else will, so go get it done.
Get her done. I like it.
I love that. I'll share a quote, and this isn't by any like famous person at all. This is something that a coach of mine told me,
All right.
and it resonated with me because I shared a quote, and then he ended up sharing a quote of that he heard back with me, and I'm like, oh, dude, that I gotta write that down. That's so powerful. So, be a bobber. No matter what brings you down, you always float back up above water. So be a bobber, my friends.
Very good.
I love that.
Bob it.
Bob it.
I like it.
What do you got, Dylan?
Man, I'm kind of on the spot here, and I don't have any Ted Lasso quotes off the top of the head, but I would normally go with something Ted Lasso, but I'm gonna go with Bob Marley, and I'm gonna go, "Don't worry about a thing. It's all gonna be all right."
Gonna be all right.
That's what I'm gonna roll with today.
We're gonna sing again.
It's gonna be all right.
Yeah.
Don't worry
Yes.
about a thing.
I'm gonna go with Braveheart in my Scottish accent.
Ooh, let's hear it.
Every man lives, but not every man. No, every man dies, but not every man truly lives. I think it's so powerful because everybody does die, but living life is so what people forget about. You know, every single day, live it to the fullest and do dumb things and wake up and go have fun and make adventures and do shit that scares you. Go live your life. We're not making out of your life. It's probably the best one out there.
Yeah, man, that is so powerful. That is so powerful. I just want to say thank you, everybody in this room, for coming and joining me on the All In Show. I really do appreciate it. This has been
Thanks for having us.
Yeah,
Of
seriously,
course.
thank you so much for having us.
Absolutely. This has been a goal, a dream of mine since I started this. And to actually make it happen and bring like-minded people in the room, new and established people in the entrepreneurial world is, man, it brings a lot of joy and fulfillment to my heart. And I hope the viewer watching finds value in this in some way, shape, or form. So this is the type of atmosphere I want to create consistently more often. I like to have fun, shenanigans. Who doesn't love shenanigans? Maybe a little debauchery. Debauchery is fun. Tyler loves debauchery. I love Tyler. I love you, Tyler. You're such a fun guy.
Tyler Shawn?
Yeah. Oh my God, such a fun guy.
Oh, I got a funny story about Tyler Shawn. 2 days ago, I was talking to Tim Story, and he's at LAX, and Tyler Shawn happens to walk by Tim Story and goes, "Tim Story," and runs over and gives him a hug. And Tim's like, "I'm talking to Matt Smith right now in Pueblo." And I'm like, how small is this world that they ran into each other in LAX while I'm talking to one of them? Like, this world is tiny.
That's
this was 2 days
crazy.
ago. It's so crazy.
Wow, that just
Yeah,
that.
Tyler Shawn is an incredible human. Yeah, that guy's he's a monster.
Oh yeah.
Before you close, I just want to say thanks for having us. And the world can learn from you. And to get us on this thing, no doubt he probably texted you a bunch of times and got to get you. You did the same to me for a long period of time. You did what you did to Magic Mike or whatever that guy was. MC Hammer, MC Mike Jackson, whatever. You did what you did to that. But that says a lot about who you are and your character is you go after what you want. And it is so respectable. You used to come to our 9:05 meetings when we'd have in the morning just to get your morning dose of excitement and energy. And you would push back to us that excitement and energy. And you'd leave going, "Can I come back tomorrow? Can I come back tomorrow?" But you know what you want and you go out and get it. So your listeners can listen to that. You're an incredible inspiration to the future. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep fighting for what you're fighting for. And it was an honor to be on your show, man.
Oh, thanks, Matt. I appreciate that.
For sure.
Really.
It's
Wow.
awesome.
We're going to go around the room. We're going to introduce ourselves. Dylan, go ahead. Let them know who you are, where they can find you.
Dylan Larson, Advantage Home Mortgage. Find me on Instagram. Come to the dog show. We'll see you all there. I'm throwing it to Vern.
All right, Vern Larson, Advantage Home Mortgage. Any young entrepreneurs out there that ever have a question, give me a call. I'll definitely talk to you, let you know what I think. 719-546-3100.
Mattress Matt at mattressmatt.com. If you're looking for mattresses or a franchise or a good night's sleep, Snooze Mattress, snoozesleep.com is our franchise. Mattressmatt.com is me. We're a global franchise. So if you're hearing this from any part of the world, we got your back.
Yeah, if you
Sleep is important. It's a human superpower.
you're going to
Sleep
want a
good.
home.
You need a
You're
good
going to
pillow.
want a home at the end of the day. They're going to take care of you. They're gonna get you what you need into a house where you can build a family.
We're gonna lend over backwards for you, bud.
You're
Turning one day into moving day.
and then once you get a house,
We've got your back, literally.
you're gonna need to lay your back on something comfortable, and Snooze Mattress right here has you covered with the best mattresses in the world.
And come back next week to see who Xander has. I can't wait. Yeah, I'm following now. Like, follow all that stuff.
Yeah. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment. Let me know down in the comments below. But most importantly, thank you all for being here, and thank you for tuning in. You know who it is. I go by Zandicky sometimes, but government name is Xander. You know, I just like to have fun. But this has been the All In Show. And we went all in in conversation.
What is this Zandicky thing again? What just happened?
All right, let me.
Something to do with that magic mic.
All right, Magic Mike. All right,
Tune in
Magic
next
Mike,
week to
MC
find
Hammer.
out.
I can spin back on that. I helped co-produce one of the shows for Street Champs, and they have a music reaction channel, and they have over 80,000 people watching going into the live chat. It's live. So one day there's one person who said Zandicky. The co-hosts were like throwing out some nicknames for me, and you know they weren't hitting. And then Zandicky popped up on the live chat, and then one of the co-hosts said it, and I was like, "That's it, right there.
There it is.
That's it." I was like, "I'm gonna
like
roll
it.
with that."
Don't introduce to ladies like that. Let's not do that. Some advice over here.
Yeah, that didn't get me very far the few times I have. So you're right. But we're gonna get out of here. Peace, guys.
Peace.